Hey, what's going on, everybody out there? This is Jakejames Lugo. Welcome to the channel and welcome to this brand new, totally unplanned episode of JJ's One Man Podcast. I actually just decided to sit down and start recording and start talking on the mic because of a couple things that I saw recently on some news announcements that came from I hope I'm not butchering this name, the Ryuga Gotoku Studios presentation that announced Lost Judgment today at the time I'm recording this. I don't want to talk so much about the new game, even though that is kind of cool. Even though I wasn't a huge fan of the original Judgment, I still think it's dope that we're getting a sequel to that game, for people that really were fans of it. But what I do want to talk about, however, is some little nuggets of info that came out from that presentation that was confirmed by IGN. I'm actually referring to an article written by Matt Kim over at IGN, and the studio, the two heads and the producer of the games, including Toshihiro Nagoshi and Kazuki Hosokawa, confirmed that Judgment is going to be the game that actually going forward is going to be the original action style gameplay, the action RPG elements that was traditionally with Yakuza, and then the Yakuza series going forward is going to stay like how Yakuza Like a Dragon was, with the traditional turn-based JRPG elements. Now, here's the thing about this, and I actually want to give a shout out to Herb Soda because he responded to me on Twitter and we talked a little bit about it in my response, to some of the news that came out. I actually don't like this. I don't like this news, to be honest with you. Not because I hate the turn-based style combat or the turn-based style of gameplay from Yakuza Like a Dragon. I actually think it's pretty good. I never played Yakuza Like a Dragon myself, but I have seen gameplay of it here and there, and I have seen impressions of the game from various reviews and other people who have played it, and it seems to be very good. But here's my thing about this. I feel like this is a knee-jerk reaction just because this one game sold pretty well for the series. I don't know if it was the best-selling in the entire franchise. I doubt it, especially with a lot of changes from previous generations into this generation. But it just feels very knee-jerk and it feels very overzealous to do something like this. Because this one game sold very well, now you're going to fundamentally change the rest of the series going forward. Now, I understand they did talk about this in the article, how, was it, with Yakuza 6, that was the ending of, Kiryu's story. Spoiler alert if you didn't play Yakuza 6, but it's been out there for a while. A lot of the characters' stories, including Kiryu's and the rest of the crew, their stories came to an end with Yakuza 6. And that's fine, but I feel like we're not really done with those characters just yet. I don't think we're going to be seeing those. That's not going to be the last time that we see those characters. We're probably going to be seeing them in other games, including sequels to Yakuza Like a Dragon, which is Ichiban Kasuga's story. He's the new protagonist for the franchise going forward, and that's their reasoning for it because, with a new protagonist and a new hero and new main character you're going to be following, obviously his experiences are going to be different from Kiryu's, but the thing with me is that don't necessarily throw away entirely for the Yakuza franchise proper. I understand that Judgment and Lost Judgment is going to be the ones where you're going to get that fix of that style of gameplay, but why do you have to deny the rest of the Yakuza series going forward that style of gameplay? It would be interesting to see Ichiban's story in that style of gameplay, but even if they don't want to do that, it doesn't mean that we're not going to see those other older characters that we loved from previous games. Maybe especially with spin-offs, not necessarily sequels, numbered entries and sequels moving forward. But still, I feel like this is something where they're limiting themselves by not doing that, where they're keeping that traditional style Yakuza gameplay for the spin-off game, and then the proper franchise itself, they're completely changing it and pivoting it to a different direction because of that one game. I used the example on Twitter when I sent this to Herb Soto. I said, listen, imagine if the Mario franchise, right? If Mario, we had traditional 2D Mario for a while. Then imagine if Mario Superstar Saga or Super Mario RPG sold very well, and then Nintendo decided that they're done with 2D Mario style gameplay for the actual Mario franchise, the Mario series, and they're going to keep that with the spin-off games like Super Luigi or Yoshi's Woolly World or something, and then all the Mario games going forward are going to be that Super Mario RPG style. I mean, it sounds cool for some people that love that gameplay style, but then they're going to be those of us like me. You're going to be like, wait a second, why are we just not going to get 2D Mario in the Mario game? You know what I mean? It just seems a little weird to do something like that. And it just seems okay, oh my God, we did this one good thing in this one game. Now we have to have the rest of our games like this, moving forward because they're all going to sell like that or they're all going to do well in some fashion. And again, let me reiterate, I do understand we're going to get that style in Judgment and Lost Judgment, moving forward. If that other game gets, besides Lost Judgment, we get future sequels afterwards. But that's still a spin-off series. That's not Yakuza proper, even though we're still going to get other stuff with that series and that game. That's more traditionally what we know. I still feel like it would be better, at least, to the benefit of the studio, to have that style of gameplay for the Yakuza series as well, and then have like all these options for people. So that way you still get your Judgment gameplay, you still get your traditional Yakuza gameplay, you get your Like a Dragon gameplay. It could be any number of reasons why they're doing this. Again, it could be because of resources, it could be because of the amount of people that are available on the team to work on subsequent games. If I had my way, if I was able to have something, decision-making powers over there at the studio, I would have it where we get these games, we get that sequel to Like a Dragon, but we also still get some other game that's still Yakuza, that still has that same style of gameplay. Not just, in name, not everything else, but in name only, if that makes sense. Because, again, I wasn't the biggest fan of Judgment. I still felt like, even though it played like Yakuza, it still lacked some elements that are traditionally known for Yakuza that still make that series very fun, specifically with the wackiness that I mentioned earlier. But still, like I said, I feel like this is a little bit overzealous. This might be a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction, but we'll see what happens within the coming months, if not the coming years, if, this is actually a good move for the studio. But either way, I just wanted to spitfire those thoughts out there and just kind of give my opinions about the news, as a reaction to it. Let me know your own thoughts about all this stuff going on with the Yakuza series and Lost Judgment down in the comment section below. Tell me, are you a fan of Yakuza? Do you like Yakuza Like a Dragon? Have you played it? Do you like older Yakuza games? Because I know the collection that was in HD came out not too long ago. Or if you'd like Judgment more for whatever reason. Put all that stuff down below in the comment section. Of course, leave a like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you missed it beforehand, I've been putting up my Star Wars content lately for Star Wars month. I had my review of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order go up, as well as also an unboxing video for these limited edition 40th anniversary lithographs, this lithograph set that I have that's based on Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So check that out. I'm going to be having more Star Wars content go up very soon. I'm going to be doing my review of Super Star Wars for the Super Nintendo and other stuff as well. But if Star Wars is not your fancy, don't worry. I still have other interesting content related to games that I know you're going to love. With that being said, I will talk to all of you again very soon. Peace out and stay epic, everybody.